This is the 10th annual Compassion National Sports Tournament. We are in Embu, 130 kilometers from Kenya's capital, Nairobi.
As we've met here, Father, as we share together, let it be a blessing, God.
We have over 1,000 children gathered from over 10 counties of Compassion's projects countrywide for this two-day event. This year's tournament will include 3 main disciplines: volleyball, athletics, and soccer. This venue has 7 soccer fields, a standard marked running track, and 2 volleyball courts.
When I grow up, I want to be an international player. Actually, I like to be a doctor.
When I grow up, I would like to be an accountant.
I want to be a doctor.
Kyoko is 10 years old. He comes from a family that has struggled to make ends meet. Before Compassion's intervention, he was on the verge of being a lifetime herdsman by virtue of his family not being able to pay his school fees.
When you're a footballer, you can be paid more money than person who is working in big shops like Rooney, Drogba, and others.
Kyoko is grateful that Compassion has made it possible for him to be at the tournament.
I live at home is when we're not going to school. When Compassion was not there, I would not have come to Embu. I would be in my home, helping my parents, looking after cattle, fetching water, and sweeping the compound.
We are inspired by the fact that probably one of the best paid Kenyans is a sportsman, not a CEO in a blue chip company.
Kyoko has big dreams. This is his first time to be at the Nationals, and he is determined to do his best. It has taken a competitive process for him to make it here. He hopes to make it to the finals in the juniors category.
In terms of the planning, previously we did not use the professional referees, but this time I think we've been able, even at the regional level, to use the KFF officials to officiate the football matches. And I think that is from past experience, and it's a growth area. We've been able to see much difference between what was there previously and what is there now.
Kyoko and his team had high expectations for this tournament. Sadly for them, their team does not make it beyond the preliminaries.
We are no longer held back in the mold that, there's so many vijana mentality that there's only one track in life. You have to go through school and finish school and therefore get a white collar job. But you can actually go through school because these kids are in school, go through school, finish, and at the same time you've been nurturing your talent all along, and you can make a career out of sports.
We're talking about HIV/AIDS and sex, and we were told that we as youth, we should learn how to control ourselves and to be assertive in our decision, that we should not be pushed by our peers. They've taught me to grow spiritually, reading the Bible, singing, and also preaching gospel there outside when I'm with my age mates.
lakini listen. Mungu atakurefill, si ndio? Nilikuwa na have sex, si ndio? Na ball. Si ndio? Nikaokoka, I gave my life to Christ. Hiyo ball itaenda? Nikapata ukimwi itaenda? So, in everything we do today there is consequences, si ndio?
The missions team, evangelism and teaching on sexual purity. I love dealing with young people. I love fun. Young people, they love fun, yeah. I identify their needs by, they talk a lot because you're young, you relate to each other. So they open up to you more than they would to an older person. We're raising sexual awareness, sexual purity awareness. And most of them, they're abstaining to know that sex is meant for married people and that having sex before marriage is a sin. And the message is reaching home.
Yes, I chose to begin with HIV and AIDS.
Compassion believes that a fun environment is a good atmosphere for children to learn. The children are divided into groups according to their age, as the passionate counselors take them through training on HIV and AIDS. With the kind of exposure teens have nowadays, the talk on reproductive health, HIV and AIDS, and drugs cannot be ignored. Pauline's story reflects this reality, with some of her peers contemplating abortion or dropping school altogether. Pauline is determined to change that narrative.
I have some of my friends whom we were very close. Even I never knew whether they could be in such condition of getting pregnancy. They were asking me for encouragement. Then some of them were telling me that they are feeling that they are too young to be pregnant, and others even wanted to get abortion. Now I usually go to my counselor. I have a counselor. We go to those of my friends who are pregnant and just encourage them to just have a child. Then you can go back to school.
We've witnessed a lot of the kids coming out and expressing themselves, and most of them have a lot of talent, and that is evidenced by the fact that we have a few of the children that we sponsor playing for various local teams, and we believe that is a plus. We have some representing even the country. Ever since we started organizing the national sports tournament and having the voluntary counseling and testing, we've continued to see a steady rise in the number of children that are getting tested. And I believe for us it's better to know your status and manage it instead of just living in oblivion. And we continue to push for that.
Sharon is 10 years old and aspires to be a doctor. She is the second born in a family of 3 children. Her mother is a casual laborer while her father is a carpenter. Her family has struggled to make ends meet and are grateful for Compassion's intervention. While she aspires to be a doctor, her passion for soccer keeps her alert on what's happening both locally and in the European Premier League. To make it to this tournament, her team competed against 5 other teams and won. We caught up with Sharon before her first game, and this is what she had to say.
We've done exercises, training, my expectations to win the game. We had to go through penalties. It was a hard time, very, very hard.
Despite the challenges her team faced, they were able to triumph in her pool and make it to the semi-finals.
We saw that they were going to defeat us, but we kept on encouraging ourselves. I can't believe that we're going to the finals. Our games, some were hard, some were easy for us to play. My teammates are very good at football. They made me proud. Compassion has taught me many things about God. He's a friend of us, he's our protector, our guider, and everything else.
We don't want them to be exposed more to talents of sports, and eventually we lose them through HIV/AIDS. So we need to intensify more on trainings, which is a key thing. So we train those children, we help them to be disciplined, and also we talk to them, we motivate them.
Zebedee discovered his love for sports at the age of 6. He is the firstborn in a family of 4 children. Zebedee hails from Western Kenya. His mother is a small-scale farmer and his father a chef.
I was there just unhappy, lonely there. And then they took me, they went with me in their office. They talked to me and then they recognized me as their child.
Given the irregular incomes of both parents, he used to miss school often due to lack of school fees. His family appreciate the blessing they receive through Compassion, sponsoring Zebedee to school. He loves to travel and the tournament in Embu enables him to visit a new place once again.
Compassion has made me be proud of myself because when I was a child, I was being abandoned with my friends. But now, I'm thanking God because Compassion has made me not to engage in bad things like theft, kidnapping, things like rape.
Zebedee is very excited to be in Embu. Last year, he missed out on the nationals because he had an injury. He is determined to play his best to win the trophy.
Like in last year, we were on the Western region. We were on the Western Quarter region, ball games. Then I got an injury. Then when I got an injury, my team was exhausted. They feared, and then they were beaten. Then we couldn't make it to come to the nationals. But this year it has been quite good. We have made it, and I'm back in our team, and we hope we can win the cup for the first time. If Compassion was not there, I don't think if I could be in secondary school now, but I could just be hustling outside there because I couldn't have anyone to take me to the school who can pay for me school fees, provide me with the basic needs like food, clothes, things like those ones. Totally, I didn't know who God was, but they have made me now to be born again. I love Christ and I live in Him.
One of the things that we say is that we don't teach children. We give them an atmosphere that they can learn. Right now we have 2 guys in our national committee who are actually formally sponsored children. We have Boni and Gedi who are very active in this. They've been helped over the years. They benefited from the games and they came up and said, because we believe in this and it really had an impact in our life, we want to give back. And for me, that is a great joy. It's one of the successes that is very good.
Coming from a very needy background in the slums of Mathare, and from a very big family, a family of 9. Where you only have one breadwinner, who is your mom, you go through a lot. And I appreciate very much for Compassion, because in the program I learned so many things. I like the 4 pillars of Compassion: the spiritual aspect, the social aspect, the financial aspect, and the education, the health and education. When I was in the program, I was assured of going to school. I would go for social events like camps, outreaches, where I would mingle with others. Socializing became part of me, and I learned so many things. And from that, I decided that I'm not going to be the same. I'm not going to be that lad just from Mathare. I'm going to aim higher and go further so that I might achieve my dreams. I give back in so many ways. I do volunteer in the project that I was brought in. I also facilitate in other projects when they call me. When there are games, I volunteer my time. It's not for pay, but because of the love of the game and just wanting to give back to the society.
My passion is I want to leave a legacy where we impact the kids not only for this life, but for the life to come. And that one I can do it, I can give anything to do that.
I'm imagining of a situation whereby we'll be having our children doing even cross country. I'm looking forward to see our children exposed more. Maybe, if possible, we have something like a regional sports where we'll bring Rwanda on board, we'll bring Tanzania on board, bring Uganda on board, Ethiopia on board, and then East Africa, we can compete together. And we'll say, this far, the Lord has brought us. So it's a dream, it's a big one.
Who knows, you might just get some of our kids captaining our teams and leading our teams to take soccer in Kenya to the next level.
I'd pray so much to achieve my career, to help my parents, and build for them a house.
My dream is helping those students who are unable, like I'm now being assisted with someone else somewhere.
I know that I can make it.
From the start of this tournament at the sub-cluster level, over 10,000 lives have been impacted countrywide. During the climax of 2 days of fun, games and life-changing lessons, the tournament has come to a close. During this time, new bonds have been made, valuable life lessons learned, and dreams secured.
When I grow up, I want to be an international player.
Actually, I'd like to be a doctor.
When I grow up, I would like to be an accountant.
I want to be a doctor.
These are the kind of stories that keep the Compassion team motivated to continue pressing on with the hope of impacting more lives. In Jesus' name.